All right, we have the latest update on the Boris Johnson witch hunt. Now, whether you like Boris or not, and I'm not his biggest fan, you can see how the left-wing establishment are trying their best to stop him from returning or having any influence in politics. It's not really about him, but it's about the people who are supporting him and the people who've been backing him, like Jacob Rees-Mogg and others who could be a threat in the future. So they want to stop him, to go through him, to stop any potential right-wing liberal movement. This is the left-wing liberals completely taken over. Now, Boris Johnson has now been given the findings and evidence of the lockdown parties. This is still going on. I'm sick and tired of it. This investigation is still going on, and the former Prime Minister's political future will be determined by the report. I don't want to talk about this. Guys, I really don't. But I'm going to have to report it. It's just tiring. It is important to keep up to date with all this nonsense because you never know what's going to come out at the end and what it could actually open, a can of worms or something that could affect everybody else. And in case there might be a bit of a cover-up, especially from Rishi Sunak's side, considering it's Downing Street and Rishi Sunak who are freaking out about these WhatsApp messages that could be published. What are they trying to hide? So that's why I'm still talking about this nonsensical Partygate. So it's not because I love it. So Boris Johnson has now been given 2 weeks to make representations in response to any criticism from the MPs. The committee will then deliver their verdict to the House of Commons, which will decide whether to approve or reject their recommendations. Now, they make it sound like some sort of impartial and professional committee. It's chaired by Harriet Harman, and it's not really going to be logical when it comes to their findings, verdict, and recommendations. What they want to do is they want to trigger a by-election to get rid of Boris Johnson, but we showed you guys a few days ago. Ironically, the latest opinion polls in his constituency, he's actually leading. He's getting above 51% of the vote at this point. So they are making him popular again. Idiots. The crucial question is whether the committee recommends that MPs suspend Johnson for 10 days or more. If they do, it would make a by-election in his Oxbridge and South Ruislip constituency almost inevitable, threatening his future as a Tory MP. Ooh, so scary. No one cares. People out there, normal people out there don't care. I don't care if it's going to be Rishi Sunak or Boris Johnson. All I care about is for the sake of the safety of our nation, the economy, and our culture, just have some sensible policies. At this point, it doesn't really matter if it's Starmer or Rishi Sunak or Davey or anybody else. It doesn't change anything. We need a proper movement. Now, a spokesperson for the Privileges Committee said, the committee is proceeding in accordance with its previously published procedure. Under that procedure, if the committee decides to criticize Johnson, it will not come to a final conclusion until it has taken into account any further submissions from Johnson. The committee will then report to the House in the usual way, and it will be for the House, not the committee, to decide on this matter. Well, they know. Harriet Harman and her cliques in the committee know that the majority of the House of Commons right now, you got the whole of the Labour Party and the Lib Dem benches and all the others, the SNP, and a chunk of the Tories who are pro-Rishi. Of course, they're going to be voting to get rid of Boris Johnson. So they're going to pretend to be, it's not us, we're not making a decision, it's the MPs. Firstly, you are the MPs in the same committee. Secondly, because you know that you're going to basically say, well, it's not the messenger, it's the message. Don't shoot Harriet Harman. She's merely innocent. Absolutely chaotic. It's establishment versus establishment. It doesn't really concern us. It's simply important to talk about it, to expose them, but it's not really for us to take sides at this point. That's the reality. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break and come back in a minute. I'm Mahyar Tousi, and we are the media.